What is up, everybody? We're back here for the NFL Week 15 picks, predictions, and betting locks here after we had a very entertaining Week 14 slate. The game predictions were worse than usual at 9-7. That was due to a bevy of upsets and entertaining finishes there. So let's recap some of the action. The games that I got wrong outright were the Steelers' big upset loss to the Patriots on Thursday night. Then Falcons lost narrowly to the Bucs at home. NFC South showdown there. Then lost Texans at Jets. Upset victory for the Jets at home as C.J. Stroud gets injured in that one, brutal concussion. Then the Raiders don't score a point at home against the Vikings. They lose 3-0. Also lost the Chargers at home in the divisional battle there as Justin Herbert breaks his finger in that one. Now maybe out for the year. And then on Monday night, lost both of them as two big underdogs win outright. The Dolphins choke it away up 14 with 3 minutes left, lose outright in regulation to the Titans by 1. And then the Packers lose on a game-winning field goal by the Giants there. So now let's get into some of the betting locks. Not shown here was our Thursday night loss. We had the under in the Steelers and Patriots got tons of great line movement. We had the total at 33, but unfortunately there were 31 total points scored in the first half, so a lot of people with their line at game time were already dead at halftime. We were still alive, but the Steelers did get a touchdown late in the second half there, which killed it. Just unfortunate beats there with some of the turnovers in inopportune places, but definitely think that the under was the right side in that one. Then we get to the Sunday action. We had the Colts +3 in Cincinnati. This one was just tough. The Colts fell down early, were able to tie it at 14, but the Bengals just had more quality on offense. They were just way more consistent and looked like a clearly better team than the Colts there. So we ate that one. Then similarly, the Jags going into Cleveland +120. I liked them on the money line once I learned that Lawrence was playing, but unfortunately Lawrence just didn't look like himself. He threw 3 picks and they were all pretty bad and in tough spots. Flacco didn't look great for the Browns there, but they just were able to capitalize on the turnovers. This Browns team at home, when that defense gets going, is a buzzsaw there. Then we had the Rams-Ravens over 44.5 here. Had some bad line movement as there was supposed to be bad weather, but it didn't end up inhibiting these offenses too much there, and they believe that there were 68 total points here. Just a shootout between Stafford and Lamar Jackson, and ends up going to overtime, and the Ravens get a punt return touchdown to win that one. So very entertaining overtime game there in the early window. Then we had the Bucs-Falcons under 41 here. Just a brutal set of events here early on as Desmond Ridder threw a pick inside of his own 10 and the Bucs get a touchdown off of that. And then you had a flurry of scoring late, a few touchdowns by these two teams. The defense is just folded late in the game, so that was a tough loss for under there. Then we had the Bears +4. This one was very sharp at home against the Lions. They really just crushed the Lions there. Started up 10-0, then the Lions made a bit of a comeback, but then the Bears just stomped all over Detroit in that second half. And that one, Jared Goff, again, in these outdoor conditions is just not the same. And so the Bears went out right there. Then, very frustrating, we had the Panthers +5.5. They had so many chances here against the Saints. They should have been winning the entire game. Then there were some unfortunate events late in the game. I think they ended up losing by 20 points maybe in that one, but it was a much closer game than the score indicated. The Panthers probably should have won outright in that one. Just brutal there. That just shows that this Panthers team cannot be trusted here, even though the analytics love them, just because they make so many boneheaded mistakes. Then we had the Jets +6, won outright against the Texans there, got a great positive line movement. Zach Wilson looked good. That Jets defense just dominated C.J. Stroud, the Texans offense. Then we had the Raiders +3. This one was a bit unfortunate, a push here. As I mentioned, just no points scored for this Las Vegas offense. O'Connell has to be better in that one. And the Vikings did not look great on offense either, but end up winning 3-0 as I mentioned. Then Seahawks-Niners over 45.5. This one was a brutal beat as there were 44 total points scored with I think 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then just some unlucky events here late in the game as Ayuk fumbles in the red zone there for the Niners offense, and then the Seahawks get stopped as they're driving, and then the Niners just run the clock out at the end of the game. So tough beat there. It's 44 total points scored. Still think we were on the right side there. Just unfortunate. Then we had the Broncos-Chargers under 44. This one hit like a charm as Justin Herbert gets injured. Even if he didn't, I mean, this was just a grimy, ugly game there in the division. Two teams know each other very well, so that was always going to be low scoring in that one. Then Bills +3 hopped up to a 14-0 lead. Thought this one was going to be pretty easy for them there, but then they let the Chiefs storm back, and you thought it was going to be those classic situations where the Bills choke, the Chiefs get it late, but no, Kadarius Toney lines up offsides when the Chiefs score a touchdown, and the Chiefs, once again this season, do not get it done late in the game. That is becoming somewhat of a trend here. We'll see if that continues, but the Bills cover the +3. That was also our free lock of the week. Reminder, free lock of the week is 11-3. This season so far. So as I mentioned, you've got to be tailing us on that one or else you're losing out on some good money there. We've also got a great lock coming up this week. Then Sunday Night Football, didn't feel great about these, so just had a half unit on each. Eagles +3.5. I like the value there, and they were always going to lose this game to the Cowboys. Cowboys played great. Their offense didn't even score a touchdown, that being the Eagles. They did get that Jalen Carter scoop and score, but they had 3 fumbles in their own right. I think this game could have been a lot closer there. The Eagles just had some bad turnover luck, so I think that they could have backdoored that 3, but the Cowboys were just a superior team. I also had the over 52, and again, those fumbles just killed the over in that one, as I think there were 46 total points scored, just needed one more touchdown and was not able to get it there. Then get to the Monday night picks where I had the Giants +6. Felt good about this one. Was very sharp at home against the Packers team who was due for some regression. Also had a half unit on the money line there just because I felt good about Tommy DeVito and this Giants team off of the bye. And they almost choked it late with that Saquon fumble, but then DeVito leads them into field goal range and they end up winning it at the gun there. So overall, not a great week, down 0.4 units. We had some bad beats, but I think overall wasn't too bad considering all that happened. But 4 straight losing weeks, we've got to get better here, and I think that we will this week. Then game picks hitting at 137 and 71, going a bit down there just because we've had a couple upsets here over the NFL past few weeks, but we'll get that back going again. So now let's get into the NFL Week 15 slate. Started out here with the Chargers and the Raiders divisional battle rivalry game here. And a lot taken out of this matchup because Herbert is obviously out, and then the Raiders once looked like a decent team under Antonio Pierce at 5-5, but now have lost 3 straight. Still, though, give me the Raiders to win here. I just think that Aiden O'Connell will play a lot better than he did last week. I think that this Raiders team will be ready to go at home here, whereas the Chargers are just reeling. They had higher expectations going into the season, and then you see Herbert go down. This defense isn't playing as well as it was supposed to. I think Staley's going to be fired after this season. So I just think that the Raiders are playing with much more pride at this point in the season. So give me Vegas there at home. Then we get to the Saturday action. This is a great slate here with big wildcard ramifications. If you want to see a video about the playoff picture, breakdown, analysis, and predictions, look in the top right corner. I just made a video about that, so watch that one after this one. 7-6 Vikings at the 7-6 Bengals. Give me the Bengals to win narrowly here. I like what they've got going with Jake Browning. And the Vikings, they did win 3-0 last week, did not look great. I think they'll play a lot better this week. I think Justin Jefferson will be back in this matchup. I think you might see a bit of a shootout here. I don't know if the Vikings will go with Dobbs or Mullins there, but I think they're due for some progression on offense in that one. I just think that the Bengals are more consistent, so give me them there close at home. Then we get to the Steelers at the Colts. Bit of an upset. Give me Steelers here. This is a classic Mike Tomlin spot when they've lost 2 in a row against horrible teams and everyone's giving up on them. Take the Steelers to win in this one. I think that the defense will just carry the day here. And Mitch Trubisky in that first half looked horrible, but their offense was able to get something going in the second half. I think they'll be able to continue that against a pretty atrocious Indianapolis defense here. You just saw Browning dice them up last week. I think that Trubisky not as good, but he will be able to move the ball there, and I just think that the Steelers defense will be able to win it for them in that one. Then we get to the night game here, Lions and the Broncos. Give me the Lions to win big here at home. Controlled environment in the dome at home here against a Broncos team that has gotten a lot of turnover luck. It's going to come down to the turnover battle, but at home here, coming off of a loss, I think that Goff will be careful with the ball, and I think that they will methodically move it down against this Denver defense, and I just do not think that this Russell Wilson offense has the requisite firepower to keep up with Detroit there, so give me the Lions at home. Then we get to the Sunday action, Falcons at Panthers. Ugly NFC South game here. I mentioned that the Panthers make all those boneheaded mistakes in the recap of last week. Still, though, going to take Carolina to win this one at home against a bad Falcons team. I just think that the Panthers at home, Bryce Young will play a little bit better here. I think that he will be able to outplay Ritter in that one. So I think that the Panthers will win there in an ugly, low-scoring game. Then we get to the Bears at the Browns, and I'm going to have a bit of an upset pick. I'm going to take the Bears to beat the Browns. The Browns defense always plays great at home, but I just think that Flacco is being a bit overrated at this point. He looked decent in that Rams game, but he really didn't look that good last week. Made a couple huge mistakes that he got away with in that Jags game. I think that they'll be punished here against a surging Chicago Bears team. I think that Justin Fields is playing very well. I think he will be able to evade that Browns pass rush and be productive in that one. So give me the Bears to win. Then we get to the Bucs at the Packers. Going to take a little bit of an upset here again as well. Give me the Bucs to beat the Packers. I think that these two teams are pretty even at this point, but just the Packers coming off of a short week here, even though they're at home, I think that Baker Mayfield and this Bucs team will be able to get it done. You just see that this Bucs offense late in game gets things going, and I think that Baker Mayfield will be able to lead a game-winning drive against Green Bay there, although it will be close either way. I won't be surprised in that one. Then we get to the Jets and the Dolphins. If you're just basing it off this last week, you may think that the Jets have a chance. No, I think that Tyreek Hill is coming back. I think this Dolphins team is fine. I think they thoroughly outclass this Jets team. So give me the Dolphins to win big there at home, even against a divisional rival there. Then we get to the Giants and the Saints, and I know that a lot of people on the Tommy DeVito hype train will be picking the Giants to beat the Saints team. They definitely can upset the Saints team, but just in the Superdome, I like the Saints' chances here. I think that the Giants have been pushing a little above their weight here, and I think they're due for some regression here. And I think that the Saints did not play well against the Panthers, but that defense will cause DeVito some problems there. So I just think overall, New Orleans is the better team at home. Got to take them there. Then we get to the AFC South matchup, Texans at the Titans here. Give me the Titans to win this one. They've been great at home this season, and if the Texans had Stroud for sure, I would take them to win this game, but that was just a brutal concussion for him there, and that was a very hard hit against the turf. I don't think he's going to be back for this one. Titans, even on a short week, I think that Levis showed a lot, and I think that this Texans defense isn't as good as it's cracked up to be, very young and inexperienced, so I think there will be some room for the Titans here to win this game. These two teams also play again in Week 17, so that will be an interesting storyline over the final month of the regular season, but give me the Titans to win this one at home there. Then we get to the Chiefs at the Patriots. This game was originally supposed to be the Monday Nighter, but got flexed out. Patriots have been playing decent. That defense has been carrying them the past month, and they finally got a win on last Thursday night against the Steelers, so they do have the rest advantage, and the Chiefs on the road here, lost 3 of 4, lost 2 straight, but I just think that Mahomes and this offense will be able to get right there and will be able to outscore Bailey Zappi, because this Zappi offense against this Chiefs defense, I just don't know how productive that's going to be, so give me the Chiefs and the more consistent team there. Then we get to the Niners at the Cardinals. I think that this one is a huge trap game for the Niners. Kyler Murray and mobile quarterbacks in general tend to match up pretty well historically against this Niners defense in the Shanahan era, and I think that the Niners defense has been better against mobile quarterbacks throughout this season. You saw that against Jalen Hurts, but still, I think that they are vulnerable to that, and I think that they are vulnerable to the offense making some mistakes. They've looked so good the last 5 weeks on the 5-game winning streak. I think that one of these games down the stretch is going to be very close. Could be this one, but still give me the Niners to win. I think that they are the much superior team in Arizona there. Then we get to the Commanders at the Rams. Give me the Rams to win this one. Commanders are coming off of the bye. I should have mentioned that Arizona is as well. So I think that that might present some trouble here for the Rams. They played a tough game in the weather there in Baltimore and ended up losing in overtime in that one. That was a devastating loss for them. But still, I think that they are the better team, more consistent, and will beat this Commanders team. I just think that Stafford in this offense is more consistent than Sam Howell and the Commanders, and I think that the Rams defense is a little bit better there as well. Then we get to our lock of the week. As I mentioned, 11-3. You've got to be tailing at this point in the season. We've got the 10-3 Cowboys at the 7-6 Bills. This one has massive playoff implications on both sides of the aisle, NFC and AFC here. In this one, lock of the week will be the Bills -2. And the Bills have not been playing consistent enough for my liking here, but still, I like them at home here. They just do not get blown out. And you see that the Cowboys, 7-0 at home, 3-3 on the road. And really, there's also some big splits. Are they able to win in a blowout, or is it a close game? They usually lose the close games, and I'm banking on that in this one. I think that this is a very sharp play. Professional bettors will all be on the Bills here at home. They need this game. They're very desperate, and coming back home here off of a big win against the Chiefs, I think that they will be able to get it done in that one there. Although, it will be very close, but I just think that Josh Allen and that offense will be able to outduel Dak Prescott. Prescott's efficiency against some of these good defenses and on the road just has not been as good as it has been at home there. So I think that that will be a very entertaining matchup, but give me the Bills -2 there. Then we get to the Sunday night matchup. Don't know what to make of this, because this Ravens team has been a bit tumultuous throughout the season, but they have been able to get a lot of these wins at 10-3 there. Big win against the Rams last week. And then the Jags were 8-3, but lost 2 straight. Lawrence is a bit iffy, but I will take the Jags to get this upset victory at home here. I just think that the bounce back will be big, and I think that Lawrence will hopefully be in good health for this game, and the Jags defense will play better than it has been the past couple of weeks here. The Jags did win this game last year. I think that they do match up pretty well, that physicality against the Ravens, and I think that the Ravens are just due for a loss here, so give me Jaguars to win in Duval County at home on Sunday night there. That will be a very entertaining game. And so will this one, Monday Night Football, Eagles and Seahawks, two teams in desperate need of a win. 10-3, the Eagles lost the NFC East lead, and the Seahawks lost 4 straight. In this one, I'm going to be taking the Eagles. I just think that they're a more superior team. I don't know who's going to be going for this one for Seattle. At quarterback, Drew Lock showed some things, but overall, he's just too inconsistent for my liking. Same thing with Geno Smith there, so I don't think it really matters. I think that this Eagles team going into a tough environment will show their poise. Jalen Hurts and that offense will be much better than they were the last 2 weeks, and I think that they will be able to get it done over the Seahawks there. So with all that being said, let me know what your guys' predictions are in the comments. What do you think of my predictions? My lock of the week, reminder, that's 11-3, so you're going to have some good reasoning to fade me on that one. And with all that being said, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.